This is how to play like Christian Pulisic. First one, you're known for being incredible at dribbling at speed. If a young player is talking to you about like, what are your tips and tricks for dribbling the ball at speed, what would be your first, most important points?
Geez, I think it's just so much practice, like away from, the training ground or like the actual trainings. I just worked on it so much as a kid.
Yeah.
It's just going in and out of every little thing and cones and working on all different types of drills and making sure that you do it. I see a lot of players just go through the motions, especially in training when they're dribbling. And for me, it's when I'm practicing, I do it at 100% at the speed that I want to do it in the games, so that in the games it just, it feels natural.
What are we looking to do when we're dribbling the ball at speed, like footwork-wise?
Yeah, it's almost to the point where it's instinctual. I think it's you're dribbling almost more with the outside of your foot in a way, as opposed to the inside, because when you're going at speed, you're bringing the ball along this way, and it's a lot of like little touches and getting as many touches on the ball as you can. A lot of feints, and sort of the outside area is where you tend to be dribbling the most. Is how I do it, at least.
So you don't want to let the ball get too far away from
you. Never. I mean, for me, there's obviously players that can kick it and run 50 yards. That's not necessarily my style, but yeah, I like to keep it very close to my foot for sure.
Second point for you, beating a defender 1 versus 1. Also something that's probably one of your strongest points of your game. So in terms of approaching a defender one-on-one, what are you looking for in terms of maybe their body position, and what are you looking to do to kind of throw them off their game?
I think it's important to see sort of how he's positioned when you're going at him, for sure. But a lot of times I notice the positioning of him, and I already kind of know as I'm approaching like what kind of move I'm going to do. Obviously, can depend where you are on the pitch as well. I scored one against Germany where you don't necessarily need to completely beat him. If you can quick shoulder fake, and then you have the option to do it. There's obviously one of my favorites is just a simple running at him, high speed, one step over, and something simple, and you're gone. So that can be all it takes.
So let's put you in like a position on the field here, maybe like on the edge of the box somewhere here, and I'll be the dummy defender here. I'm probably going to be showing you out, away from the goal, right?
Yeah, a lot of the time.
Okay, and you're looking for me to bite or to step towards?
Yeah, I think in a situation like this, if I'm coming at you with speed and you're really giving me this much, if you're opening up to the point where it's so clear and I have enough speed that I can beat you, touch, and I can go, then it's without thinking, I'm going.
Okay.
But obviously, I think if there's a point when I feel like there is space there and you kind of bite this way, then a lot of times it's just something to beat him to the inside. Okay. So it can be. Yeah, it's for sure what he's giving you, and it's just, I don't necessarily have 10 different moves in this position. It's just 1 or 2 or 3 simple ones that I know can work.
And done quickly.
Yeah, a lot of times that's what's efficient around the goal.
Putting you in another position now, you're receiving the ball, the defender's on your back. How are you setting up for that? What are you looking? Are you checking your shoulder? Are you trying to touch the defender behind you?
I think there's obviously different styles. I'm not necessarily a number 9 hold-up player who's gonna, but I think it's definitely important to feel the defender. For me, I try to create as much space and get away from him and face him as quick as I can, because that's my strength. My strength isn't my back to goal. So if a ball's coming in, I'm definitely feeling him. Quick touch and try to get my space as quick as I can.
Turning,
for me, because then this is what I'm good at. Not necessarily rolling somebody strong. That's not necessarily my game. So yeah, that's how I take it.
And in terms of like, even before you're receiving the ball, are you looking to try and get that like?
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to, when I'm receiving the ball, I don't really want to be on you. So obviously, for me, it's more away and then coming to receive and getting it ideally, for sure, yeah.
Striking the ball. Okay, so there's a few different types of techniques. Again, you mentioned your goal against Germany, kind of like curling it into the across the goal. So in terms of, firstly, when you're looking to strike a ball, how do you choose which technique to use first?
A lot of things can kind of determine that. I think there's obviously, going for more placement, which I have 2 real shots that are my go-to. Is Obviously the inside of your foot is when you're curling it, and I feel like I can place it maybe slightly better. And then obviously just going with the laces. For me, the laces a lot of time is in quick scenarios, when you don't have so much time to kind of line up, see where the goal is, it's kind of instinctual. So a touch, I scored my first goal of the season where I just took a touch and there were defenders coming in. So I just aim for that back post area. I can kind of feel where the goal is and just go laces and strike it. For sure, for me, obviously coming in from the left, like the goal against Germany, I feel a lot more confident, you know, being able to find that if I'm going for that top corner with the inside of my foot. And I had more of a run up and was able to get more power on it as well. So
obviously goalkeepers at the level that you're playing at are very sharp reflexes. So in terms of like electing between striking with the laces and maybe a more purposeful kind of like curling shot, is that does that come into play as well in terms of like not letting the goalkeeper get set?
I think that's big as well. A lot of times, like I said, quick shots in and around the box, when you can just get a quick touch off and go with the laces, that's when the goalie's not exactly set yet. But if he sees you lining up and you have a big run up and you're you know, like gonna feel it out, he can kind of, you know, get set and he knows sort of where, you know, which direction to dive and stuff like that.
Cool, I'm learning a lot today. Final question for you. I want to know, what is Christian Pulisic's go-to move? Like, you're one-on-one with a defender, like what are you looking to do and why? Like
I said, I don't necessarily have 20 different 1v1 moves that I pull out. In a season, you know, you only see the simple ones. For me, a lot of times when I'm coming off the right side, I like having these small touches, and then kind of my go-to is just like a quick touch here with the inside of my right foot.
Inside of the right, okay.
I feel like a lot of defenders don't expect me to go to my left a lot, but I feel really strong with my left foot. So for me, that's kind of, you know, touches, and then it's just like a quick one like this, and then I'm off. A lot of times from the left side, again, with getting to my left foot, is one of my favorite ones, is just the single step over like I showed you earlier. For me, it's the most simple things. I think you see a lot of, you know, kids, especially nowadays, throwing in 20 step overs, and it's like, at that point, all you need to do is beat the guy quickly. It's not about the show and all this. So for me, those are my two go-tos, I would say.
And is that something you've obviously worked on it growing up, like that, like cutting inside onto the left foot, right? So
I've worked on my left foot my whole life. I mean, you know, from when I was super young, my dad made sure that I was working on my left just as much as my right. For me, the defender, obviously, if he's smart, he's gonna push you more to your weaker foot, and I always know that I have that option if I do end up on my weaker foot, that I can, can still hit one. So yeah,
that's how to play like Christian Pulisic.
There it is.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Nice.